this place a town? The next intersection was the first four-way intersection he'd encountered so far. A metal building with a cupola filled a good chunk of land on the right. A portable sign sat at the edge of the road. Black block letters spelled out, Beach Street Bible Fellowship. So, this was where he'd serve as a youth pastor. He eased to a stop and craned his neck, giving the church a better examination. Now he could see there were actually two long metal buildings standing roughly 20 feet apart. The first one had the cupola, and the second sported a wooden cross nailed to its front. Some sort of enclosed breezeway, the peak of its roof barely reaching the eaves of the other two structures, connected the two halves. Although there wasn't an official steeple or any stained glass windows, the buildings and the yard all looked clean and well cared for. Not fancy, not by any stretch of the imagination. Not even churchy. But homey, somehow. Jase's angst eased a bit. Shifting his focus forward again, he spotted a two-story home with a trio of carriage-type garage doors on its lower level. The front of a ranch-style house stuck out from the far side of the garage. Its paint colors, cream with dark green trim, matched the garage. No other house sat on the right-hand side of Bluebell Street, so it had to be where the pastor lived. Jase pulled in a breath and blew it out, then drove the remaining distance, the growl of the U-Haul's tires loud on the gravel road. He parked in front of the house and turned off the engine. He hadn't even climbed out of the cab before the front door of the house opened and a smiling couple stepped out onto the porch. The woman stopped at the edge of the concrete slab, but the man, short, heavy-set, with gray-streaked hair and a huge grin, ambled down the steps and came toward Jase, his hand extended. Jase met him in front of the U-Haul. The man's handshake, strong yet not crushing, sent a message of welcome. Jase felt his lips curve into a smile. "Hello, I'm Jase Edgar. You must be Reverend Kraft."
"I am. But call me Brother Kraft. Everyone around here does."
The man beamed at Jase, his blue eyes narrowing to merry slits.
"I'm sure glad to meet you. And you're right on time for lunch. We were sitting down when Leah heard your truck. She said it had to be our new youth minister."
He chuckled and leaned forward slightly, like a child sharing a secret.
"She made extra in the hopes you'd be here in time to eat with us."
Jase glanced at the woman. She waited with her hands tucked in the pockets of a yellow-flowered bib apron, her gaze seemingly glued to him. He gave a nod, and she bobbed her head. He turned to Brother Kraft again. "That's awfully nice of her."
"Well, Leah loves to cook. Doesn't need much of an excuse to fix plenty either. So come in, come in."
Brother Kraft slung his arm up and across Jase's shoulders and herded him along the paved sidewalk to the house. The warmth of the man's arm felt good. Although Jase wouldn't call the temperature in this part of Kansas cold, it was definitely too cool for the t-shirt, cargo shorts, and sandals he'd put on that morning. The weather here was at least 10 degrees lower than a typical April day in San Antonio. Mrs. Kraft, equal in height to her husband but half his girth, pulled her hands out of her pockets and grabbed Jase in a tight hug the moment he stepped up onto the porch. It reminded him of the hugs given by some of the older ladies at the church back home, and he automatically returned it with matching oomph. She patted his back several times, then let go and grinned at him.
"Jase Edgar, welcome to Bradleyville. My brother-in-law spoke so highly of you, I know you'll be a blessing in these parts. But instead of standing out here talking, let's get sat down at the table before the meatloaf and mashed potatoes are cold. I hope you're hungry."
Jase's mouth watered.
"I am, and that sounds good, ma'am. Call me Sister Kraft."
The preacher's wife slipped her hand through the bend of Jase's elbow and gave him a